back there. Good morning and happy Monday. It is the 4th week of the O.W.L.s Magical Readathon, and it is still technically the morning. It's like 11:50. I just barely am making it in here, but I did want to say that I'm currently reading The Unexpected Everything. I was about 53 or 54 pages into it by last night, because I hadn't read in a few days, or at least hadn't read this book in a few days. And I did end up getting to a page 107 last night. So I am still reading this one. It's not a hard read. I was reading it while I was waiting for my video to upload and everything, and actually when I went back upstairs after that was basically done, I didn't read anymore. I just sort of played on my phone, which, yeah. But so I am reading it. It's, like I said, not bad. It's just nothing has really caught my attention fully yet. So I'm gonna keep reading this. I'm just waiting for, I guess, me to see where it's gonna go. This is probably why I don't usually pick contemporaries as my favorite genre, because sometimes they're just middle of the road, at least for a while. So we'll see about that one. I am currently at a part where I don't want to get into too many spoilers at all, but I have a feeling that I might have guessed maybe a reveal that's going to happen later. This book is interspersed with little passages from a fictional sci-fi, I think it's a fantasy book that is written by C.B. McAllister, and I'm 100 pages in, and I think who C.B. McAllister is going to be a reveal in this book, and I think I know exactly who it is. If that's true, you know, great, but we'll have to see exactly what that means for the story, because I don't fully know yet. But this story follows our main character of Andy. I've read 100 pages and I don't remember her name. Andy, who her dad was a politician and had some sort of scandal happen, and because of that she was going to go to like an early admission summer program for like John Hopkins, because she eventually wants to be pre-med when she's done with high school, but she can't go anymore because of the scandal, and like somebody who did her recommendation letter like pulled out. So now she is going to have a job as a dog walker during the summer. That's all I know. Like I said, nothing super special yet. I'm hoping it gets better, but I am reading it. There was a little bit of time yesterday while I was editing where I was thinking about maybe DNFing it for now. Not that it was bad, just that I wasn't really in the mood for it, and picking something else. But it's a really easy read. Like, the 50 pages or so that I did read of this yesterday went by in like half an hour, so like I can definitely finish this. But yeah, I guess that's my update for now. I am gonna be making lunch soon, because it's about that time of day, and I will see you guys later. And it is now Tuesday. You're fine, I'm just vlogging. I'm not even facing you. Leon just walked out of the office and immediately did an about face. We're making coffee again. I think there's only been like one day in the last couple weeks where we haven't made this coffee, and it's because we were running out of milk. So it's breakfast time. I'm making the coffee, and I did read over 150 pages more of the book. I guessed the author thing, although that wasn't, I guess, a big reveal. And again, it's just a YA contemporary. I don't have too many other feelings currently. I do like the writing style. Like, it's very easy to get through and it's very quick to read, even though it is a huge book. I should be able to, I'm hoping to finish it today sometime. But otherwise I don't really have many other feelings right now, so I'm gonna get breakfast and then probably play video games, because let's not lie to ourselves about that, and I will see you guys later. You want to show them you're eating? Presley, you ready? Want some eggs? Uh-oh, we dropped some. He's sharing Mommy's half a bagel with some avocado and scrambled eggs. Mmm, avocado. It's so good. And then we're gonna watch some YouTube stuff. Hi, baby. Breakfast time. With my coffee I have not stirred yet, and a baby eating breakfast, I think we're gonna have a good day. Good morning. So I did finish The Unexpected Everything last night. I think I'm gonna give this a 3.5 stars. I liked this book better toward the ending. I personally feel like it's mostly just way too long for what it was. So a lot of the stuff in the middle, which is more just like day-to-day stuff, I didn't personally really like it. I mean, I guess I sort of see the point of it, but it just wasn't something that I was really into. I knew that there was going to be some drama near the end, and I personally liked that a little bit better than the sort of just happy day-to-day life in the middle of this book. But it wasn't bad. I did really enjoy Andy getting to know her father a little bit more, since he had to, you know, overcome the political scandal and sort of step out of the limelight a little bit. So I liked the more, I guess, family aspects of this, but that wasn't the main part. There was a lot of stuff with the friends, and it was just way too long. This is like 519 pages, I think it is total, for like from start to finish of the story, and it was just, like I said, way too long for the type of story it was. I'm not the biggest contemporary fan, like that's not the genre I would normally pick up first, and so that's probably skewing it a little bit for me. Like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't my favorite. Goodreads will probably show a 4-star because it's not as low as like my normal 3s. It's definitely a 3.5, but I found myself liking it more in the last, maybe potentially the last 100 pages out of everything. So again, yeah, I finished it. That one was for my Muggle studies because I did have to read a contemporary. And now I have 2 books left. This is the pile I've finished. This is the pile I still need to read. I think we're gonna go with Howl's Moving Castle. This is a middle grade that is going to be for my history of magic, because it does have a witch and a wizard, at least one of each in it. And so I'm very excited for this. I've had this on my TBR for a while. I have not watched the movie either, so this will be very new to me. I know they're not exactly the same, but I'm very, very excited for it. And because it is a middle grade, even though it is, I think it's almost 300 pages. Yeah, just over 300 pages. I don't think it'll take me very long. The text is actually pretty large. But yeah, I'm very excited for it. Like I have mentioned before, I don't just read during the day. I mostly read at night after the baby goes to bed. And so lately I have been playing a little bit of the South Park Fractured But Whole when he is out here on the couch with me. But also after like editing and stuff in my office, I've been playing Mass Effect Andromeda as well. I last played that when it first came out over 3 years ago, I want to say. I don't think it's been a full 4 years yet, but it's been over 3 because I know my time hop has shown some memories of it within the last couple months. So I've been a little distracted and not always reading, but I only have 2 books left for my OWLS. And I know the OWLS goes through April 30th, which is into next week sometime. I feel like my personal goal though, since I only have 2 books left and I'm trying to read at least something every day. I think I might be trying to finish my OWLS this week. It is currently Wednesday, so we have today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have a good 5 days left. I can totally read 2 300-page books in that time. So that's my personal goal. We'll see if I actually make that. But that's what I'm going to be saying for right now. Hello everyone, it is now Thursday. I wanted to let you know, I obviously posted a video today, which I edited and everything yesterday, so that was partly what I did yesterday. And it was my book haul for March and April, since I'm only really doing them every other month right now. So I will leave that link down below in case you guys want to check that out, because we have quite a few books there. And then I did not read anything yesterday. Last night, I was definitely planning on it. I was going to start, obviously, Howl's Moving Castle, but I spilt some, like, basically boiling water on myself and have a burn now on my leg. It's not super horrible. You can't really see it, but it's, like, right here on my, like, hip area. There are a couple blisters that, you know, we have covered up. We're using the antiseptic and all that, you know, fun, good stuff. But it was very, very painful last night, and so I didn't want to do anything. It was my fault for spilling it on myself. However, it was not my fault for 1, boiling the water, and then 2, putting in a thermos with no lid on it and leaving it on the counter where, you know, it was just on the counter. So I had no idea there was water in it, but it happened. It's feeling much better today, although we did again put some antiseptic stuff on it and then cover it a little bit with some gauze stuff, just because there are a couple blisters that I don't know when they're gonna pop or if they're gonna pop, and I don't want stuff to get in it. But otherwise, it's like 8 something, maybe close to 9, and we have breakfast, and I think I'm just gonna go see if there's any comments I need to reply to, and then maybe play some Mass Effect Andromeda while the baby goes out on a walk really quick. But otherwise, that's my update for right now. I really did want to read, but after that happened, I didn't want to read, so I will get back on track later today. So I know I just did a book haul, and I posted it on my channel today, but we got a package. This probably won't show up in a book haul until a couple months from now, actually now, but this is my N.E.W.T.s editions of Nevernight and God's Grave. So we have really cute little bags for them. Doing this one-handed is interesting. Haha. Nevernight. So I already own Nevernight, but the only way to get God's Grave was to order both. And this one is actually signed, and the end papers are different than the other one, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, the actual outside of the book that is very, very pretty, the naked hardcover, is still the same. So I'm very excited about that. They are also sprayed edges, and my third one isn't, because I didn't get it from N.E.W.T.s. I just got it from Waterstones, I think. But I'm still very, very excited. God's Grave. This is the one that I was basically waiting for so I can actually binge this series, and I'm very, very excited to do that. This one is also signed with really cool end papers, and underneath our dust jacket is gorgeous. I just really love how they did these books. That was the whole reason I wanted them. And now, uh-oh, Daddy left the baby. We have these. So I'm very excited for these. I should be reading them hopefully soon because I really want to. And now that I know the end papers and everything are different in my both editions of Nevernight, I might end up keeping my other one. I was really considering unhauling it because do I need to? Unless I absolutely hate this series, I think I'm gonna end up keeping it. Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. It's Friday already. It is so weird when my husband works at home because I haven't been to work in a while. And so I forget what day of the week it is, except for when he's working. But now that he's working at home, I'm getting off track a little bit. So I did read over half of this last night. I'm currently on page 160, and I'm liking it well enough. At first, I wasn't too sure about it because of the way it's written, as I drop it on the floor. Because of the way it's written, the beginning sort of felt more like an oral story, like somebody telling you about a story, like a fairy tale almost, which I guess is not horrible, but it's just not something that I preferred. However, once we get to the part where Sophie has her curse put upon her, the story actually got moving pretty quickly, and it is a middle grade with, you know, pretty big writing, so it's not like it has taken me forever to read half of it. I'm not entirely too sure what my rating will be yet, but it does make me really, really want to watch the movie. I don't know if I have a good way of actually watching the movie, but if I have a way to do that, I think I might do that this weekend sometime because I'm really interested in it now, even just by reading this book. And I know it's not going to be exactly the same, but I've never seen Howl's Moving Castle, and now I really, really want to. So we are at about 11 o'clock. My husband and I just filmed a video because our dating anniversary is tomorrow, and I wanted to put up like a tag video for tomorrow, so I'm gonna do editing on that later. But otherwise, I don't think there's much else that is going on today. Obviously, I will have the baby. He's actually upstairs with Yaya and Nai right now because they sort of tried to escape being too loud on the video, so they went into another room. But my plan is to at least finish this book today, and then I have one more book that I want to finish by Sunday because of the fact that I don't want to have my owls go for another week because I don't have enough books to make a good vlog for you guys. So my goal, read this today, edit my video to go up for tomorrow, play with the baby. I think that's a pretty good goal to have. We will be figuring out lunch soon, but I'm gonna try and read some of this not in bed tonight, so hopefully you guys will see me again at least one more time today, and not tomorrow morning like it has been. My burn is also doing okay. It has blistered up a little bit. We've been making sure that I've been putting like antiseptic stuff on it, and we've been covering it up a little bit so that it's not getting irritated, because it's like right in the area where like the edge of my underwear would be, the seam, the edge, I don't know what it's called, but like it's in that area here, and it's not hurting nearly as much as it was, so I'm actually doing okay, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling and I will see you guys later.
Look at Presley.
You crying because you want daddy's stuff.
That computer and mouse and charger.
You can't have all that electronics.
Wait till you're 5.
But now you can look at yourself in the camera, but you can't have this either. Oh, yeah. We're gonna have dinner soon. Poor baby. Poor baby. You like the camera though.
Peekaboo. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Pika, pika, pika. Pika, pika, pika.
Oh, you're okay.
Okay, thank you.
You want to eat it? You can't eat it.
No.
Okay. Potatoes and peas. Is that yum yum yum? Is it yum yum yum? Where are you going? And I'm back before 9. There's no clock readily available in here right now. Actually, I have my phone. What time is it? 8:20. Well before 9. We just put the baby to bed, so Leon is up there with him. But I did want to let you know I finished Howl's Moving Castle, which I have for my History of Magic. But I think I'm going to give it a 3 stars. I enjoyed it well enough while I was reading it, but the writing style was definitely not something that I really enjoyed. There were definite parts, especially near the later parts of the book, that I guessed a little bit of what was happening, but a lot of the reveals happened in such a way where I was a little bit confused. Like, it felt like they were happening very, very quickly, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And so that was a little bit hard to keep up with. And so I did enjoy it well enough, but not the best book I've ever read. I do think it's a pretty interesting story, but it wasn't told as well as I was hoping it would be. I still am very, very interested in the movie. However, I seem to only really be able to find it in places where I'd have to purchase it digitally for like at least, I think at the lowest I've seen was like $12. And I don't really want to do that. Like, if I'm gonna purchase something to own, I sort of want a physical copy, like a DVD or something. But Amazon has, you know, deprioritized a lot of things that are not, you know, that we don't necessarily need for the pandemic going on, which is fine. But their estimate for the DVD of Howl's Moving Castle is like middle of May. So not necessarily something that I would want to do right now. So now it is, like I said, like 8 something. It is before 8:30. I think I'm gonna start my last book for my OWLs. This is The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill. This is for my Defense Against the Dark Arts, which is a book set at sea or on the coast. And what I think is really funny, I didn't do this on purpose, but I already started a book for this OWL. The first week of OWLs, like the very first book I started, and I DNF'd. So this is my, I guess, a backup book. I know that there's mixed reviews on this, but it's actually not super long. It's like a small book, like short in stature. And so the total amount of pages looks to be about 305 or 306. So Howl's Moving Castle was like 302, I think, of the actual story. So this, again, shouldn't hopefully take me too long. The text is also quite large, so I feel like this will probably read as quickly as a middle grade or young adult, although I do believe this is an adult fantasy, potentially. I mean, it has mermaids. It should be a fantasy. It's a reimagining of The Little Mermaid. I absolutely love this cover, which was the reason I picked it up, and I actually picked it up before people started saying they weren't too sure about it. And like, under the dust jacket is gorgeous. Like, I'm a sucker for books that are like really, really pretty under the dust jacket. So I'm actually very excited to start this. And like I said, today is Friday and I have until Sunday. Now, normally I edit my vlogs as I go along for the week and I haven't done that yet. So I am probably gonna have to edit a little bit tomorrow and a little bit on Sunday to make sure I can have this go up on Monday and not be bogged down with all of the editing on Sunday. But that also means that I need to make sure I finish this book with enough time to wrap up for you guys, because lately I've been editing and still reading on Sunday nights, but it goes into the beginning of the next week's vlog because of the fact that I was editing, and I don't want that to happen. So I really do need to read some of that tonight, and I'm very excited to do that. So yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end it for tonight. Just know I am planning on reading tonight, and I'm really hoping I'm gonna like this, even though I know that there's been some mixed reviews, so I'm not having super high hopes going into it. But this is the last owl I need, so we gotta read something. Good morning. It is almost lunchtime already. It's like 11:45, but I'm just now coming to you guys and letting you know. So I've read the first 86 pages of The Surface Breaks. I don't know if I said this last night or not, but like, this cover is so gorgeous. It's so pretty. And I'm liking it so far. I'm not necessarily finding anything that I don't like, and I know, like I said previously, that this has mixed reviews, so I'm not entirely sure about that. One thing that is bugging me just a little bit is the fact that they are mermaids, and her father does not approve of the surface at all, because apparently on our main character, Mergen, at least that's what her dad called her, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, but her, I guess her name from birth was Gaia. That's what her mom called her. On her first birthday, her mother went up to the surface and was captured. Pretty much everybody thinks she's dead. So they don't like the surface, but they somehow know lots of names of things that are on the surface, which some of them don't seem realistic. Other ones that do sort of seem realistic is like they called birds fish with wings. But then, like, somebody, I guess, apparently knew the name for birds. But there's other things they haven't explained, like how they actually know what it's called. So I don't know how often before her mother was taken, like 15 years ago, how often people actually went up there and knew, hi Pippin, like listened to the humans and like learned what the words meant. So that's a little bit off-putting. But otherwise, it's a very sort of dark sort of retelling so far, in the fact that in the merman society, men are like the be-all end-all, and they sort of treat women as property, like our main character who just turned, did she just turn 15 or 16? 15, I think. So maybe it was her mother disappeared 14 years ago. But I think she's 15. She is already betrothed to a guy her father's age. And her mother was like 15 when she married her father. And he was already old. Like, it's very like possessive, and like women aren't allowed to like speak out. And I'm very curious to see how that's going to be talked about more in the book, because it's very oppressive, like very oppressive. So but yeah, the writing style is okay. There's something to it. It's not necessarily like super lyrical or poetic, because I don't really like the overly purple prose, that kind of stuff, but I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, about 86 pages in. I think that's closing in on 1/3 of the way through. I definitely want to read more, but I do also need to edit today. And then today is also my husband and my 5-year dating anniversary. 5 years ago today we had our first date, and so we were going to originally, before all this social distancing and isolation and stuff, go out for like potentially dinner and a movie, but obviously we are not going to do that. Sorry, I'm logging into my computer so I can edit. So instead we're going to be making dinner instead of Leon's parents, and we're going to try a new recipe, and I think that might be all we're doing today. Also, I can actually start to show you guys my burn, so if you guys don't want to see it, skip ahead like a few seconds. but it's doing much better. But this is what it looks like. We had some blisters up in this area a little bit. It's not painful anymore, which is great, but it's definitely in a weird spot and doing much better. So I am going to be editing some of this vlog now so I don't have to do it all tomorrow, and then hopefully reading and cooking dinner. So I will see you guys later when I'm doing one of those things. So it hasn't actually been that long since I talked to you guys, but I'm currently editing, and I completely forgot that I started a clip, or my husband started a clip, of me gluing our puzzle together that we did while I was pregnant, before I was pregnant, I don't know, but we finished a 1,000 piece Mass Effect puzzle, and it had just been on this table over here for forever, so we decided to get some puzzle glue last week, and we glued it together, and I never showed you guys the completed thing. I think we are still going to get a frame to put it in, but at least it's not going to be stuck on this table anymore. But yeah, we really enjoyed doing this. It was really hard with just some of these like tealish areas, but I absolutely love this puzzle. If you look, they do have, I think this is the artist's signature potentially, but they do have like tags almost, which are sometimes hard to read. Who is this? Thane, Tolly, Vega, Miranda, just I Heart BioWare. I never did a follow-up on that, so I figured I might as well put that in the vlog now so you guys can actually see the finished product. I'm also just happening to wear a Mass Effect shirt today. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to editing. It is gonna be lunchtime soon, but I realized I had never shown you guys that, so I figured might as well. Open it. Yay! I bought a pillow to go with my other ones. Baby's currently sleeping, but he loves to play with these pillows. So I will leave the creator of these linked down below. I know they don't have a whole bunch out right now just because of the social distancing and everything, and I think they are unable to get a whole bunch of the supplies currently. But this is O.W.L.s, and then these are ones that I purchased years ago. We also have Varric, and Morden, and Garrus. So I have 2 Mass Effect, and now 2 Dragon Age. Now it's my turn to open stuff. I mean, they're all for me, but you know. Oh, so they're just separate. Okay.
It's trust, responsibility.
Yeah.
And what else?
So Garrus is what?
Trust.
Morden.
Responsibility.
And Thane.
Truth.
Cool, huh?
Cool.
They said they're Japanese, but obviously Chinese and Japanese overlap just a little bit, so he can read the menus, right? But yeah, these are things that I've had on my like Etsy wish list for forever. And for whatever reason, I was buying the O.W.L.s pillow and was just like, I'm gonna do it. And they had, if you bought a certain amount of money, it was free shipping, so that's why I got 3.
Yeah.
But also, and if I ever have a chance to like purchase Mass Effect things, these are the 3 characters I always purchase. The love interest. I mean, you can't romance him, but he's like one of my favorites, and then he's just cool, so, you know. Hello, everyone. Just wanted to let you guys know that last night I actually got to like page 212, I want to say. So I actually have less than 100 pages left of this today. It is currently like 12-ish. Leon just went out to pick up some pad thai, so we didn't have to cook for lunch. And I'm very, very excited about that. I have not read anything yet this morning because I was helping take care of the baby, because not only did Leon pick up pad thai, he did our shopping for this like week, 2 weeks sort of stuff. So he has been going out and doing that, and now he's picking up some lunch for us as well. And I am curious about this story to sort of see how it ends, because I mean, obviously this is based off of the original Little Mermaid Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, which is dark in itself, but this is also very dark. It did follow the sort of traditional pain while the Little Mermaid is walking and having her tongue cut out for her like giving up her voice, so it is very dark. But it's also, she's like 15, almost 16 at the time, where she decides that she wants to go be up with the humans and the prince character. But she is under the impression that she is in love with the prince, obviously. But there's been a couple other characters who have actually said it's more like lust and desire, which I'm actually sort of glad that they mentioned that, because of the fact that like she saw the prince once and is like, I'm in love with him. And like, it could be a coping mechanism because she's sort of idealizing the surface world, because the merman world is very man-centric, and her father is not very nice, and the guy she's supposed to be betrothed to is not very nice, and you know, that kind of stuff. So she's probably very much idealizing it. But I have less than 100 pages left. It does not seem like the prince is falling in love with her. And I don't know if it's gonna be even darker than the original fairy tale, or if it's gonna follow it a little too closely for my liking. I'm perfectly fine with the way it's written. Like I said, it's not like overly poetic, which is good. It's not nice and concise like a young adult though, so that's, you know, it's a happy middle, I guess. And I'm very curious to see where it's gonna go. So again, I feel like currently it's probably like a 3-star read, right in the middle. And then depending on where these last, well, it's less than 100 pages, but the last 100 pages, depending on where that goes, that's gonna sway my star rating probably. I'm sort of hoping it actually gets really dark, or she comes to some great realization that, you know, she could have helped overthrow her dad. I don't know. But one thing, I know I mentioned before that she was 15 and was supposed to be betrothed to a guy like that was like her father's age, and they didn't specify exactly how old that guy was, but they did mention that I guess in here mermaids live about 200 years, and her mother got married to her father when her mother was 16 and her father was 63. Then her mother had 6 children and apparently disappeared when the oldest one was 7. So I'm gonna assume her father was about 70, because they probably started procreating pretty darn early, because he really wanted a son, didn't get one. So he was like 70. And now this youngest daughter is almost 16. So that's like another 15 years. So he's like 85. Which, I mean, okay, they're saying that mermen live for 200 years, I guess, on average. But like the fact that like the guy our main character is supposed to be betrothed to is about her father's age, so is about 80 something, and she's 15, almost 16. Yeah. No thanks. And I guess it also, you know, ties into the whole very controlling men sort of thing in the book. But I'm gonna stop rambling. Lunch is gonna be here soon. I want to get to these 100 pages actually probably as soon as possible, so that I can update you guys soon, because I am so close to finishing it, and I just really want to know where the author is taking this twist. I'm hoping it doesn't stick super close to the original story, like it sort of has done so far, but I will let you know once I'm done. And with that, we are done, and I'm updating you before it gets too dark outside. It's actually, I'm using natural light for this. This is actually very good. It's like 4 o'clock. I would have updated you guys sooner because I totally finished this by like 2-ish, but Presley fell asleep on me and I couldn't get my camera, which was in a different room. But I did finish the surface breaks. I think I'm gonna give it like a 3.5 stars, because I did enjoy parts of it, especially near the end, but it is a very dark book, and it's basically just a reimagining. It says a reimagining, but it's very much tied to the original fairy tale of The Little Mermaid, but it has sort of a very patriarchal, oppressive society twist to it, and our main character slowly has to sort of figure out how to be her own person. And the sea witch in here, Seto, C-E-T-O, I actually don't know how to pronounce that correctly. She's very much like, she's just a feminist and like loves herself, and that's the reason why she's evil, according to our main character's father. So if you're not the like stereotypical cookie cutter pretty person, you're not good enough for the society. There was some definite like hard things to read. I'm sure there are tons of trigger warnings in here. They don't show full on like rape or anything, but there is sexual abuse, or at least it gets close to, there's definitely non-consent, let's say that, but it's not necessarily that there's any sex in here, but there's lots of hard topics. And so because of that, while I did enjoy it well enough, the ending was pretty good, but it was like the last chapter was like amazing, and I just sort of wish that there was a little bit more to this story, a little bit more after that last chapter to keep it going, because I feel like I really want to see what happens after the events of this book. So 3.5 stars, possibly 4, but yeah, I liked it better than I think I was expecting going in, just because of all the mixed reviews. So now we're going to update everything. I guess we'll start with the surface breaks. This was for my defense against the Dark Arts Owl. This week we also finished Howl's Moving Castle, which was for my History of Magic Owls. And at the beginning of this week, we finished The Unexpected Everything, which was for my Muggle Studies Owls. All of the graphics that I'm using, I will leave their creator N.E.W.T.s linked down below. And now, this is all 8 owls completed. And I guess we're gonna wrap it up here, because I'm not gonna be filming anything else for this in April, just because I'm now done with my owls, and I think I'm gonna wrap up the vlogging here. I am very excited to pick out my May TBR, which I think I'm gonna film tomorrow, so you guys will actually see that on Thursday, so keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video.